Hey, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Sorry, too fast on the clicker. Welcome back to the quest.
Yeah, here we are.
And the very first Backcountry Couples, what do you want to call it? Live stream?
Yeah.
Chat stream?
Welcome to Backcountry Couples, which is like super, super exciting. So here we go. Super fun. Couple things we want to, let's say hi to everybody first, okay?
Hello, everybody.
Right. Hey. We got the Brothers Campins in the house so far. That's
Mark
cool.
from Backcountry Paddlers, Swifty,
Cody and Alex from Northwoods. Hello.
Woo-hoo.
That's awesome.
All right. We only got an hour show, so we got to cram a lot in. We got a little bit to do and a lot of time. Wait a minute. Strike that. Reverse it. We have a lot to do in a little bit of time.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is true. So,
well, if you're all new to the chat, or you new to us, I'm Johnny. This is my lovely wife, Colleen.
Hi.
We are the Keel Quest.
We are, and I'm from Ontario, Canada.
I'm from the great state of Michigan.
Right, where we reside right now. Oh, geez, him and his little hand thing. Right. But we've been married for 4 years, and
4 plus.
4 plus, that's true. And we love to paddle. So we canoe, we kayak, we truck, right? So we backpack, we hike, camping, anything backcountry camping, like we're all over that. And now we just started overlanding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Converting our nice cool little Subaru named Jack.
Right.
To a fun little overland rig.
Right. So it's been pretty fun. We started Keel Quest just over a year ago, and mid-end March. Yeah, the end of March, and we have a bit of a small presence on YouTube and on Instagram.
Yeah,
and we've always obviously chatted with everybody and got to befriend people.
We're very diverse.
We are diverse, but when we were talking with everybody, what was going on was people were like, "Wow, it's so cool that you guys are, backcountry couple and you're out doing stuff, and how fun is that?" And I was like, is it really different? Is it really strange or odd, or is it a phenomenon?
Nope.
And it isn't, right?
It's the new norm.
What we came, right, through just kind of conversations, we were just having fun, right? Just doing what we were doing. Mm-hmm. But it was the benefits, it was the impact, right, that we were having on being a couple outdoors. So then the last 2 months, we were just like, how cool would it be if we connected with other backcountry couples? And is that something, right? I don't even know if that's something. But anyway, so we reached out to some awesome people that we've met kind of here on YouTube, of course. Oh, they're all awesome. Not some are awesome. They're all awesome.
Yeah,
you're right.
You are awesome.
I know. So we wanted to reach out to people we have met through Canada, obviously, and the US. And the response really was unbelievable. In fact,
thanks to this young lady.
I just honestly, that's in my mouth. A hair. Anyways. But honestly, it was just so cool. We have the next 14 weeks. 14. I know.
That's almost like October.
14 weeks are already booked out.
That's college football season.
of backcountry couples who kind of want to share their story, what they're up to, what they're doing, share their tips, their tricks. And I think that's pretty exciting.
Way awesome.
It is. So thank you for everybody who was, helped out, done what we got to do. Swifty was 14. I know, 14 hours. So that takes us all the way to October.
So, hey, y'all, if you're new to our channel, please hit that little subscribe button that goes that way, right over there, and hit that little bell. So you all will be notified when we have the next live stream or some silly video that we put up. Whenever we're outside,
right? Yeah,
you'll be the first to know.
Or an impromptu live stream, which was super fun on Saturday.
Yeah,
it was super fun.
That was. We needed more camp juice.
Yeah, we do.
Anyways, so but this is only possible from our gracious sponsor.
So some of you know that we're an ambassador, right, for MIYAGI Fire Starters. Can you see it? It's pretty, and we have it in the back up here, right, which is kind of cool. And they loved the idea of I don't know, kind of coming on board, the whole concept of everything. And they were like, can we be a show sponsor? I'm like, absolutely. So how amazing is that?
Yes.
So John's going to show you these things. These are pretty awesome. I personally love these things. They're handcrafted in the Pacific Northwest, right here in the US. There's no chemicals, no wood byproducts. They're like, you can use them in snow and rain. Like, it is amazing. So we're pretty pumped about that.
Sorry, the got some color issues here, so it can see right through.
Oh, there you go.
So anyways, you can go to MIYAGI.com. And they have different packages that you can get twos. You can get how many comes in this one here?
That's just like a little multi-pack.
Yeah, it is a multi-pack.
Yeah.
Color-wise, multi-pack in color, but they all do the same thing. Being an all-natural product and no chemicals whatsoever. You just light it, set it under a bunch of wood, and forget about it.
Right, which is, I mean, it's amazing. So I liked it personally that it was that they're lightweight. So
yes,
we had carried, if anybody saw our Instagram post, we had carried a 17.4 ounces or whatever it was, like a fire starter kit, right?
It's a great
What was
kit.
in it?
I have
we can slow down.
I have wood shavings. I have carbon wood. I have flint. I have waterless waterproof matches. There you go. A lighter. What else do we have?
Get some charcoal, something.
Yeah,
that's what that was. Okay, yeah. All right. But anyways, it ends up weighing in, which is crazy. But these, the MIYAGI and a lighter, are 3 ounces, so they're perfect for backpacking.
Perfect.
And I love it. And that's all we took on our latest trip.
Yep.
Didn't even take the fire starter kit. That's what we did.
Grabbed whatever wood we could around our campsite, and
which was awesome. So a couple things on MIYAGI. So Father's Day's coming up, right? You can use our KeelQuest code, 15% off. Yep. To see whatever.
Coupon code is KeelQuest.
KeelQuest, yeah.
For 15% off.
Exactly. And every couple who is...
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, there is. You always say that.
I know.
Everyone's going to receive like a fire starter gift pack for coming on the show. And the team at MIYAGI are so amazing. Are you ready for this? Oh, I don't think you can see it.
Yeah, it's not going to focus.
It's not going to focus. So they actually created 2 different MIYAGIs for us. One is called the Patriot. So it's a red, white, and blue. And they just came out with the Canadian flag. So the red, white, wet. Red, white, wet?
Red, white, wet?
Red, white, and red. How amazing is that? So that's pretty cool. And of course, another one's thrown in there as well. There's a red, white, and blue, little patriotic. Oh, am I in your way, honey? Sticker.
My space is my space and my space is her space.
That's right. That's right. Don't forget that either. Anyways, that's really amazing from MIYAGI. So I wanted to say them.
And I want to one quick side note here.
Listen.
I apologize for the video lag. Don't know what's going on. It could be the internet. Who knows? But we sound good. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a something going on, but
anyways,
we're fine.
On with the show.
Right on. So the other thing I just wanted to mention, first of all, we just love small business, which is one thing. Second, we love anything made in Canada, anything made from the USA. So that's our thing. Will you put Keela's things up there or Keela's thing up there, the brand? I don't think we can see this, but okay. Oh, it's going to be weird. Are you ready? I don't know how I'm going to not do this, but.
Oh, let me see. Let me try this. Can we do this?
So, oh my God, it's going right through. Kind of, sort of. Okay, weird.
That ain't gonna work.
No. So we've got these really cool tumblers.
Yep.
That are from Kay's Custom Tumblers. She's on Instagram. She has anything you want. May or may not have something delicious in that Kay's Custom Tumblers.
It's spritzy.
It is very spritzy. It's a spritzy kind of night, honey. It's pre-Friday.
Okay.
It's pre-Friday, right? Anyway, so she can do what you want. Check her Instagram. She also happens to be Backcountry Paddler's wife. So please go do it. And I think Bom's in the house too. Bomb Outdoor, I saw him. And I believe he has some sweet Kay's Custom Tumbler stuff too. So check her out. She's really awesome. And the other thing that we wanted to go over, so there's a few people in here.
Yeah.
How do I see how many people are in the house here? Oh, there we go, right there.
10.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thanks everybody who shared us out too. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody did, which is amazing.
All
I
right.
love that. All right. So
Our first guest.
No.
What?
no,
Like what?
no, we have rules.
Whoa.
We have rules. Kinda. We
I
kinda
break
have
rules.
Yeah, you do. We kind of have rules.
We
So
can come back to that one.
this one, the rules?
Yeah.
Rules are good.
No,
No,
rules are
because
bad.
John's gonna watch the chat. And if somebody has a question in the chat, do you know what I mean?
Okay, fine.
Then right. See, there you go. Bomb says something's good. Right on. So if you have a question for our upcoming guests, if you can write the word, type it, the word question in capital letters, then John will see it.
Which we got that great tip for our good friend Dennis at Canoe Hunt Adventures.
We did.
Check out his show at 7:00 on Tuesday nights.
Right.
Which I think he's got only 2 more shows, then he's off for the
2
summer.
shows left, and then he's like out.
Anything
Yeah.
outdoors, that's a great show to watch too.
Right, which is awesome. And then, so the second thing is, if you want to participate on the show, John will put a link in the chat once we can get through a few questions with our guests and stuff like that. And he will, so it'll be in the side there. You just click on it, just follow the instructions, right, honey? And then you can come up and chat with our guests in person. So I think it's going to be kind of fun. All right. Are you ready? Everybody saw who we have coming into our program this evening.
Yes. Without further ado.
Wait a minute. They have a motto.
Their motto is.
Are you ready?
Please do.
Follow the path less traveled,
And
that shall make all the difference. So, our backcountry couple, they travel the world in search of adventure,
mystery.
Mystery. And they have some good adult natured fun along the way. I'm curious about that. Should this be a PG show? Not a PG show anymore. I don't know. But these two will show you the life is way more fun when you have somebody by your side to share it with you. So let's welcome our Wisconsin adventure couple, MIYAGI and Trips.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, welcome.
Thank you for coming on and being our very first guest to the show.
/ victims.
Thank you for having us.
Good
to be here.
Wow. Okay. That was a quick sweep.
Awesome. Yeah. So welcome. You're in, I'm not sure where you're located right now. You got a fabulous waterfall in the background.
We're traveling.
That's
We're
very
traveling
good.
right now.
Yeah. I like that. I like that.
Portable studio setup.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Awesome. Well, just give us a quick little brief. Hey, who's MIYAGI? Who's Trips? What are you? What's going on?
I'm MIYAGI.
Yeah,
And Trips.
that's right.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. Where do we start?
How about where you got your trail names?
No,
Ooh, So
that's a long one.
That's
No,
a long one?
That's a long
Can you
story.
click notes it?
That's going to involve a
That's
few
right.
more of those things.
Hey, you know what? I'll cheers to that. There we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Cheers to you.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
That's right.
Happy
Pre-Friday it
Thursday.
is.
Well,
Yes.
now I got to go get it.
It's already been a long week.
Right.
I don't know. So for me, personally, my backpacking started when I was in college.
Right.
So my dad was dragging me out into the woods ever since I was a baby. Big deer hunter. So before I could start hunting, I was, running around the woods, checking stuff out. And it wasn't until college where I started taking some backpacking classes and acquiring equipment. I thought it was cool. It wasn't my passion, but it was something really cool that I did.
Okay.
And then to fast way forward, we met and we really didn't have, we had a lot of things that we liked to do together, but we didn't really have that hobby.
Yeah, you were a diver, and I really can't quite get the hang of that. I'm not that good at it, so it was something that we could.
Mm-hmm. So I actually got her certified down in Jamaica, and down there she did okay. She really likes the warm water, but up here where you have to wear the dry suits because it's so cold, having that the dry suit seal, that latex seal around the neck and the wrists and everything, it was just a little bit too much.
I think I was strangled to death in a former life.
Right.
I just can't do it.
Claustrophobic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've been diving since I was 12. That was my passion. I'm the commander of our local dive rescue team. So that's part of what I do for a job is, I go out and we do swiftwater training and we rescue people and do recoveries and evidence collection and all that kind of stuff. So that's been a passion of mine for my entire life. But it wasn't until 2015 where Tripps's brother-in-law at the time, he grew up in North Carolina and had been hiking the AT quite a bit growing up and had all these stories and stuff about hiking the AT. And I think a few years prior, he'd invited us on a backpacking trip, and it never really worked out. It was kind of like one of those, hey, you should join us. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we would go to family gatherings. And you guys would talk about how cool it would be to go. And I was always like, okay.
And we had some vacation lined up, and he happened to talk about this trip that he was putting together with his wife, her sister, and their nephew. And I'm like, we actually have some time off around that. And he's like, oh, man, you got to come. So I knew I had some backpacking stuff in boxes from college. And I'm like, well, I'm sure we could, put some stuff together. Let's do it. And she's like, oh, I don't know about this. So she agreed to it. And we ended up doing a section of the AT kind of straddling the border between Tennessee and North Carolina. Kind of, if you're familiar with the Appalachian Trail, it's around Uncle Johnny's hostel.
Yeah.
Kind of in that area. And I let his trail name is Fragile. That was her brother-in-law at the time. Kind of let him plan the trip. We were just along for the ride.
I seriously was taking one for the team, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
How long was this little hike?
Well, it was supposed to be, we were supposed to have 3 overnights?
Yes.
3 overnights. And we only ended up doing 2, which is where Fragile ended up with his trail name because he ended up hopping off the trail. We had, I think it was our second night. Yeah, our second night on the trail, we had a really bad storm. And we were in our Ozark Trail, Walmart.
Like the Walmart.
Tent.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yep. That's what we
Holy
had.
ton of weight, Batman.
And I had a 90-liter North Face backpack.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that picture's floating around out there somewhere. I know. I see Almost in the crowd. I think he's probably got it.
Okay.
Somewhere. There's all kinds of goofy pictures of me somewhere from that trip. Hey Devin, how you doing? So we're on this trip and it was really nice the first couple days, and then that second night it rained really bad and we were fine. I mean, we got a little wet, but we were like, okay,
Stuff
whatever.
was floating in our tent.
Yeah, luckily we had like a 5-inch thermarest pad that's meant for like negative 50 degrees.
Yeah.
So we were floating on that inside of our Walmart tent. We were fine. So we got up the next day. Well, the rest of the crew, they weren't doing too well. Her nephew had a hammock. He loves how I say hammock.
Hammock.
Mm-hmm.
He had a hammock, and he got really wet. They didn't have any drip lines or anything, so it soaked his. I think he was just in a sleeping bag.
And it's not fun.
Yeah, he was pretty miserable, and I think her brother-in-law had some issues with his knee or something. So we hiked out to this gap. And he was gone, and we met up with her sister, and we were kind of trying to figure out what we were going to do. And they're like, oh, well, Fragile, he took off. He's hitchhiking back to Uncle Johnny's house. So he's getting in the car. We're all done. And we're like,
they were all ahead of us. So we just kind of walked into this decision.
And I don't like quitting things. No. So I was like, ooh, I wasn't too happy about it. And we didn't know, but he actually hopped a freight train to get back to Irwin, Tennessee. So there's
really?
Yeah.
Wow, old hobo style.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
really?
hobo style. Yep. Ended up hopping a freight train. There's a whole story behind that.
Is that legal?
No.
Okay.
No, definitely.
Yeah, we're not encouraging that. This
right. Okay. I was like, wait a minute.
So we're kind of hanging out, and they had some trail magic set up, and it was our second time that we had experienced this whole thing called trail magic.
We were on trail for 2 days.
Super cool. Well, we didn't know if he was going to make it back. Okay, so we decided, well, we're gonna get a ride too, and we'll see if we can beat him there, and maybe we'll just all meet up at the hostel. So there was this van, there was this deep green van, and it had stickers all over, hiking stickers and stuff. Covered. So we asked this lady, she was pretty jovial. She's like, hey, y'all heading back to Irwin? And we're like, yeah, can we get a ride? Absolutely, pile in. So I'm in the front seat driving next to this lady, and they're in the back. We're all wet and everything. And I don't know if you guys are going to know who this name is, but Miss Janet, if you follow the AT or you follow through hikers over the last number of years, and she's been on trail she's a trail angel.
Okay.
But Miss Janet is pretty famous. We had no idea we were sitting next to the famous Miss Janet, and she was making fun of us because we were wet and we were quitters. And
She kept saying the hikers,
the hikers are
melting.
melting. The hikers are melting. So we made it back. And,
Oh my gosh.
you know, I'm kind of thinking that, oh, maybe this might be the last time that we do this backpacking thing. And I wasn't the backpacker that I am now as far as being like all in.
Mhm.
But I think your quote was something along the lines of, it's a lot like childbirth.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it sucks while you're doing it, but a little time passes and you kind of forget how bad it was, and then you want to do it again.
It's so true.
If that wasn't a thing about childbirth, people would literally never have more than one kid.
Right.
So
No, that's a good analogy. I like that. That is
Mhm.
true.
So she said, you know, I
Mhm.
kind of like this backpacking thing. Why don't we do some more of it? And
Yeah.
as soon as she said that, I'm like, oh, that's it. We're done. I'm going to buy everything that we need. And I was 500% in.
yeah,
Yeah.
So from 2015 on, it's been like hammer down.
I've
Like,
gotten 2
aggressively.
beach vacations in all that time, you guys. The rest
What?
have all been backpacking
Mhm.
trips.
Only 2? You need to catch
Only
up.
2.
So I think that same year we ended up doing the Pictured Rocks
Mhm.
hike, which was
Right.
her longest. That's a 42.5 mile
Yeah.
hike. And
Right.
we had just an
Did you say my
awesome.
longest?
That was your longest on that one.
That then.
Yeah, it's her second trip.
Sure.
But we
That's a
had
pretty big
just
trip.
an amazing time. So much so that the next year we planned a 2-week backpacking trip. So that
Mhm.
was the first time that we got to do the whole resupply thing, and it was our
Right.
first time hitchhiking, which
Right.
was kind of cool. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's been a lot of personal growth for
Oh, yeah.
both of us, and yeah, that's kind of the MIYAGI and Trips origin story. In fact, that later that year is how she got her name Trips, because she was doing this little. She likes to sing. Backpacking with.
I like it already.
I was watching some of your early videos. You like
Yeah.
your very first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what Trip
Yeah.
is singing?
Oh yeah. And then
Oh,
she
yeah.
falls.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I think
yeah.
I was singing Hall & Oates actually.
So
Which
you're
one?
singing-
I think it was You've Lost That Loving Feeling.
That's not
That's not a Hall &
Notes?
Oates.
We've had a number of.
Yes, it is.
Is it? Yeah, I don't know.
Playing with the Queen of Hearts. No,
I
that's
love it.
Yeah,
I
that's,
can't even
that's-
think of a Hall & Oates song. Isn't that weird?
Private Eye. I was watching you.
Well, anyways,
Yeah.
Well-
I was singing and dancing and I tripped and I fell.
But it was epic. It wasn't just like she fell. So
Right.
she's jamming out. She's got her hiking poles and she's dancing.
Oh,
and she's,
yeah.
doing this and spinning,
show.
looking at me, and she's lip syncing and she's doing all her stuff. And I'm like, and then she hits a stump, little tiny stump on the side of the trail.
Seriously, it was like this
What if when they bite you?
And it was like slow motion. She kind of pirouetted, the poles went flying, and she falls and lands right on her backpack like a turtle.
That was by
And
by design.
my instinct is always, and I wait for
Sure.
the next moment. Is it going to be a wince or pain, or is it going to be a laugh? And it was a laugh. So I'm like, oh, I get the camera out. So I didn't get any video, but I got a picture of her laying there on her back. The Trips moment. And I'm like, oh, Trips. I'm like, oh, Trips. That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, and I live up to it pretty regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And you live up to it pretty early. Very
Mhm.
good.
Oh yeah.
So I was trying to think of how we first came across you. Right? I was like, I couldn't figure it out. And I said to John, I said, oh, you know what it was? We did the gallon bag challenge. This was like 9-10 months ago.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, looking up where we did the gallon bag challenge. I was like, sex in the woods?
I tell you what, you want to get views on your channel, put sex in your title.
Oh my God. So here's you two dancing around slow motion in the wood. I was like, stop it already. And I was like, I like these two, right? We commented on that video and I was just like, this is who we are. We're from Michigan. Like, hey, like super fun, great take on it kind of thing. And I was like, this is fun. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like that is just you.
Yeah.
Fun is
Yeah.
you're having a good time no matter what you're doing. You know what I mean? And it's silly, right? And I don't know. You just resonated with us because I was like, we would do the same thing. There's no inhibitions.
Oh, yeah.
There's no like, let's just, enjoy it and have a good time. And then the second part was we got to know you a little bit better through that 12 Days of
Christmas
Christmas.
giveaway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was kind of neat too. So we got to meet, obviously some new people and just I think more befriended each other then, which was kind of fun. So
Very cool.
yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, we like to have a good time. We do. And it's interesting because a lot of people get caught in, I think they get pigeonholed for, I'm an ultralight backpacker, I'm a long distance backpacker, through hiker, I'm a weekend warrior. I think a lot of it just depends on what you're doing. We can meld in with the best of them. We've
done trips that are 110 miles, and sometimes we do 7 miles in a weekend.
Or a mile. We have a spot that's pretty close to our house, and
I like that
campsite set up, and literally it's a mile hike. But you know what? It's a chance to get away. So
Sure.
Our packs are never the same. The backpack's not ever the same, and
that is true.
The same, and it's always true. What do we do?
You do pack differently for everything, but you guys just don't really backpack. You had a few little stints in the backwaters, I believe. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we were just out paddling just the other day. For those that follow our Instagram, because we have an Instagram too, I think it was my last post. You'll see the professional paddleboater in action here. In fact, I think Sparty Warriors called us out. Sparty.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. She and we hadn't even had, so we live on a river here in Wisconsin where we're at. We're really fortunate to have this beautiful wild little river. And we have a small pier that I built, and we have kayaks, we have a paddle boat, a little John boat. But what we like to do in the evenings, not always, but
date night.
Have a little date night, and we get a few bottles of wine or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember the head first.
That was before.
Yeah. That's what's Sparty.
That was just me trying to get in it.
Right.
To go out.
We hadn't even had anything to drink yet.
Right.
And she face planted.
It happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's super dry right now here in Wisconsin, and our river level is super low, so I can't even get the pier in. So we kind of had to put it in a kind of a weird area.
That was me trying to get in from the on the back side of it without it going so far away from the riverbank all at the same time that I ended up having to kind of do a weird hop thing, and then I just went.
Yep. So even off the trail, she still lives up to her name.
Oh.
Well, at least you're consistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. You wouldn't want to
very
confuse everybody.
Yeah, no, it's a very fitting name.
And he never gets it on camera.
I almost did. So last year we were up on the Superior Hiking Trail. In fact, we were with Sparty. We were with Midwest Backpacker, a bunch of Rob, Milos, a bunch of guys. We were coming into.
Jeremy, we can go back.
Hang on, we're gonna go back to the question. Go ahead.
Yeah. We were coming up to High Falls, and there's this area that you have to kind of scale down, and it's a little precarious.
It's loose gravel and large rocks.
And of course, I had to say something. I was like, "All right, be careful, because this is really slick here, and there's a lot of loose gravel. Be careful so you don't fall." And I'm filming as I'm going down, and there's this young couple that's at the bottom, and they're waiting for us to come down with their dog. And I'm ahead, and we're doing all right, and we just about get to the bottom, and I hear this. Like a shoe sliding through the gravel. And literally she is rolling down the, I don't know.
Come on.
Mountains. Oh yeah. Trucking pole goes flying over my head, sticks in a tree, and the two people down below are like, and I turn with the camera as she's rolling. So
I have this down to an art now.
Yeah. I got to the end, and mind you, this is the exact spot that I had. So I attempted the FKT on this particular trail before, and right at High Falls is where I had to terminate. And I was like, we're going to have to get off trail again right here because Trips
is dead.
She's going to have to go to the hospital. And she was okay. She started laughing, but she had injured herself a little. She got some bruises, but the couple that were at the bottom, they were just like,
I was super glad to have an audience.
Oh my God. And I think she was probably more embarrassed.
Oh, 100% you were, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because we talked about that for the next day.
Yeah.
It was that epic.
Yeah.
It's amazing how fast you bounce back. Can I say the word bounce?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yes, I bounced.
You know what I mean? Exactly. But you do, and you recover quickly, and it's good, for sure.
Yes.
That's crazy.
She's entertaining to watch.
I like that. I do like that.
Just one of my many many great qualities.
All right.
Many
Good
talents.
qualities.
So we had one question here. Trent's ready to head back to the Ozark Highlands Trail.
Oh, was that your?
Almost
Was that like the crazy rain?
Yeah. So,
the only trip I've ever quit in 6 years.
but it was bad. So Trips has been through this evolution. So when we hiked the Smokies for the first time,
Right.
and it was just her and I. And if you've ever been to the Smokies, like deep into the Smokies, not up on the AT,
Very wet.
it's very wet. You're doing a lot of stream crossings, and inevitably you're going to get wet.
Sure.
I
But
didn't want to get wet.
She didn't want to get wet, so she's rock hopping, right? She's doing, and she was doing really well.
I would try to do that too, I think.
Yeah, this was the
Yeah.
second day, the
Mhm.
second day into a week-long trip, and we're just about to camp. And I'm filming her come across. I'm doing my thing. Anybody who hikes with me, I have a lot of energy, so I'm like running and I'm,
Really?
like, back and forth, and
I think he
I'm
does
like
twice the
I'm
distance
hanging
of
from
everyone
trees,
else.
and I'm
Sure.
trying to get all the angles and everything. So I'm on the other side of this stream, and I'm filming her and kind of coaching along. Okay, this one, and floop, she slips, but it wasn't bad. She didn't actually fall, but her foot went into the water, and I'm holding the camera, looking at her, waiting, and it wasn't the.
No, I started
Uh-oh.
crying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I yelled at him to stop filming me.
she did, and I'm like,
Right.
okay, yes, dear.
Aw.
So that night, I built a campfire, and I got her socks and shoes dried off and things. But I think that was kind of the first time where you were like, okay, it's not that bad.
I was still mad.
It's not that bad.
Now I just walk through everything and I'm like, whatever.
So so almost was talking about this Ozark
Right.
Highlands trip. Well, we went down with him. When was it? Very end of December, and so it was the first time we've hiked over New Year's.
Yeah, we
Mm.
came home on New Year's.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right. That's when we did our live stream. You guys had just gotten back from it. That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a lot of rain,
And it
a
was
lot
cold.
of rain, and it was cold rain. And we did a really cold camping trip almost, and the Mule and Milos and Rob and I, we went up to the Boundary Waters where it was like negative 55 with the wind chill and everything. And everyone's like, "Oh God, you're so crazy." We stayed warmer, and I think Almost will agree with me on this one. We stayed warmer on that trip than Trips and I and Almost did on that Ozark Highlands trip, because when you're in the cold, and when I say cold, I mean like mid to high 30s, even low 40s, and you're in the rain, it's a different cold altogether.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Snow is going to hit you and fall off, but when you get that rain and it's hitting your shell, that rain, it's actually pulling body heat away from you 20 times faster than the air does. So people don't realize, especially when you're on trail and you're generating heat and you're like, "Oh, I'm great and warm and everything's fine."
And I was fine
until we stopped.
until we stopped.
And when
then
you
I could
stop,
not.
it exacerbates itself so fast.
Right.
And Milos and I discovered that when we were hiking on the Spirit hiking trail, because we ended up with, I would say, mild hypothermia.
You think you had mild hypothermia?
Well, yeah.
Not in that
You
trip.
like you stop and you start shaking profusely.
Violently.
Like my teeth
Violent.
were shattering and
Yeah.
it was awful.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
I mean, even then, any water temperature at any given time, water pulls the heat out of you.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
that's-
Well, Johnny,
I mean, you should definitely know, Meg. When
I was just
you're
going to say
diving,
scuba diving. Yep.
you're diving in the tropics. You're in 80-degree water, but yet you're still going to get cold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Diving around here, we dive in Lake Michigan all the time, and we'll be out. I'll be teaching the guys and stuff, and we'll be out doing 2 dives over the course of a few hours, and they're wrecked for the rest of the day.
So
Even
are
if
you.
we're in dry suits and everything, and you want to go to bed, at 7-8 o'clock at night because you're so wiped.
I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you really got to watch it when you're hiking in the rain like that. You really got to watch yourself. Which is why I've always been a huge proponent of the trekking umbrella. If you can get away with it, just to keep that rainwater off of your body, keep it off of your core, and
Right.
you're gonna notice. You might not notice the difference so much while you're hiking, but you're gonna notice the difference when you stop at the end of the night.
Right. We
Guaranteed.
actually just ordered and received the 2
6 months.
6 moons.
Yeah.
So we
Yep.
just got those. We haven't had to use them yet. We thought it was going to be raining this past weekend, but the weather was great. It was on our side, so we were fine.
Yeah.
But we have them, so I'm excited for that. But I think you're right. I feel like there's something, and I think I saw a video, same thing. It was and it was just nice to be hands free and to it was good. I felt it was even like a safety measure, even too. You
It
know.
is. You must feel a bubble of warmth kind of around,
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see
you
that.
can stop and eat your lunch. You can snack. for those of us that vlog on the trail, I keep all my camera equipment kind of like right in here in my chest pack or my fanny pack, whatever I'm wearing. And you can manipulate that. You can still shoot video. So it has a lot of uses. If you're out west, it's great. Devin's in here. He could probably attest to the fact that you can use those out in the desert for shade.
Sure.
How do you mount it?
So for me, there's different ways of mounting it. I just put mine right through the sternum strap.
Just tuck it underneath. So
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
But they do make little attachment mechanisms that you can do. When we were doing the Triple Crown, so this is kind of a funny story. I needed an extra umbrella because oftentimes we supply stuff, with for other people. Plenty of bubbles of warmth.
That is true.
That's true.
Oh,
almost.
brother.
But I wanted to get another umbrella, so I was on Amazon looking through stuff, and I saw they have these umbrellas, and there's no handle to it. It's a head mount. It's actually a
Yeah.
right, and they look goofy. I'm not gonna lie, but
the umbrella hats. I see those.
Yeah,
They're like a dollar store or something, I think, aren't they?
Right? Yeah, they're not
I know
that
what you mean.
expensive. So I got one. I kept going back to it. I'm like, put it in my cart, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of goofy. And then I'm like, you know what? How nice would it be to not have to manipulate it, and it's perfectly centered over your body the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, let's send it. So I hit send and I got it. Well, Rob, our Pelton 1, ended up using it on our Triple Crown hike when it was raining, and he's like, this is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
I kind of like it. So I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but I'd like to try it.
I'm sure we'll have a video premiere soon.
Yeah.
It might.
I'll do a review.
There you go. Oh, you should do a review. I like that idea.
Have some background music.
Oh,
singing in
I
the
don't know.
rain.
Something like that.
We'll have Milos come in and do a guest appearance.
Riding a unicycle.
Riding a unicycle with the
my God. I think
the umbrella on.
I love it. Absolutely.
With
love it.
little things dangling off the end.
Right.
Yeah. And it'll be the multicolored one, kind of like a circus tent, It'll be great.
Oh, no clowns. Stop it, honey.
Connie does not like
No.
Oh.
Oh, I know what I'm doing.
No, you don't.
Oh, yeah. It's
No,
coming.
you don't.
So you shouldn't tell me these things.
I know, right? I feel like you just made a notation right now.
Too late.
Oh.
Downhill from here.
I know, right? It's in there. It's in there.
Don't worry, he forgets a lot.
Does he forget too? Good. No prompting either.
This I doubt
Nobody.
he will forget.
Yeah, right?
Aren't we recording this?
Yeah,
Probably
right.
is.
I know, exactly.
I'll just go back to it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Do you have a favorite piece of gear right now that you love? Separately. Trips.
Oh gosh. I really like my roll top fanny pack from Hilltops.
Yeah. See? Okay. Cool. What do you keep in yours? Is that just like at the ready stuff? Do you know what I mean? Like
So usually in there is my snacks.
Yeah.
Snacks. Chapstick I usually have in my hip belt pockets because they're tiny. Hip belt pockets are way too small.
They're so, I know, I agree. Yeah.
So snacks, my headlamp. Usually, like depending on what time of year it is, like bug wipes because I prefer the wipes over spray. And probably my phone if I'm not wearing leggings with pockets.
Right. Miyagi?
Frisbee.
He's not joking.
I have a small silicone Frisbee that I bring
I've
with.
seen that thing on the trail.
Not the one that folds up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yep. It's got a little light disc in the center. You can turn it on at night. And I wreck that in the ocean. But yeah, I bring that with me. You can fold it up and just stick it really wherever.
Okay.
But yeah, it's so great. And I just whip it at people on the trail. I'm like, hey, and then I throw it to them. It's fun.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And we just did a hike to Pictured Rocks not too long ago.
Right. You did.
And that was our favorite toy. We play with that, I think, at every campsite.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
So it was a lot of
That
fun.
is fun.
Here's a question from Sparty. How much does base weight change solo versus couples?
Sparty, that's a good question.
It is. And what luxury items? Interesting. Okay.
We'll let you guys go first.
Well, do you guys, you share the weight?
No, we
Nope.
carry all our own stuff.
You carry
Well,
you carry your
not
own
100%.
food each?
Well, I suppose sometimes you carry
The stove.
like the stove, and I don't carry a stove.
Right.
Yeah.
Same.
Right.
But
I'll carry the pot at the stove. She carries the food.
Yeah, like that kind of.
I carry the
He
tent.
carries the tent. Like we carry our own sleep system
sure,
Mhm.
and change of clothes.
and our own like personal stuff, but
That's the only thing we split
That's
up.
about
I
it.
carry the camp juice.
The camp juice.
We usually split that between
So
us.
yeah, we each have a flask of something. Not always.
Yeah,
That's
right.
not always true. I mean, sometimes we do that, but yeah, we both do the hammocking thing. So we both
Right.
have our own system that we use. Our first few times, so we went through this evolution when we first started backpacking. We told you about that Walmart tent that we bought. So
Right.
we're like, okay, we can't.
We're not doing that again.
This can't happen again. So her and I did like a ton of overtime at work, and I started
Together. We got to work it together,
Yep.
which was a bonus.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, we worked this triathlon together. So anyway, we saved up the money, and I did the research, right? Which was the wrong kind of research. So I was looking for the most just like bomb-proof tent I could find. Like it's not going to
He
get.
does nothing a little bit, you guys.
I don't do anything a little
Like,
bit. So I'm
not
like,
at all.
all right, I don't want to get wet. I want to be able to survive.
This thing better
60 mile an hour winds, and it's got to do Everest and everything. All of the
because
things.
we're gonna do Everest.
Yeah,
you
I-
are. Mhm.
yeah. Well, I'm planning it. Anyway, so.
You got a Hildeberg.
It's
So,
on
yeah.
the list.
So we ended up
Yep.
getting a Hilleberg Nalo 2
Oh.
GT, which is just this. If you watch, so if you-
$1,100
There
tent.
he knows that. Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
it's expensive tent. We saved up for it, and it was really cool. But it's a 7-pound tent. 7 pounds.
That's
I mean, there
crazy.
are people. Yeah, there are people that their entire everything.
Yeah.
Everything is 7 pounds. But I mean, I tell you, this tent. It was awesome. So we actually split that up. So when we did our 2-week trip in 2016, when we were on the AT, we carried that,
Mhm.
and it was nice. I mean, it's a great tent. If you watch the video of Almost and I, when we were doing the Boundary Waters, I actually had that. Milos and I stayed in that because it's a great 4-season winter tent.
Mhm.
You know, if you want to stay in that kind of conditions, it's
That
awesome.
thing's bulletproof.
Yeah, it handles high winds,
Yeah.
and
It is.
it's well ventilated.
Yeah, it's in the construction and the way. And I was watching CW on the camping show last night on his broadcast, and he had
Cliff Jacobson.
Cliff Jacobson, and he was talking. They were talking tents and tarps, and then he's like, "You want a bulletproof tent?" He said, "You get that tent." And I was like,
Yep.
I looked him up. I was like, "Wow."
That's cool though.
I think the vestibule was like one of the biggest things I loved, and the fact that you could set this tent up
Yeah.
in the middle of a rainstorm, and the interior totally stays dry.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's awesome. I don't recommend anybody getting it. I
No.
mean, if that's something you got an extra grand for and you want to throw
Sure.
it out there, hey Bob, how you doing?
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a great tent. So that's something that we did share. Going back to the question, we did share that.
Mhm.
We each divvied up to 7 pounds, so that
And
was nice.
even when we transitioned to a Z-Packs tent, we still kind of split that up a little bit.
So after that, I'm like, man, this is so expensive. We need to lighten up. So
Going
we go
from
over
one
to
extreme to
Z-Packs,
the
and then
other.
I'm like, what? Another $600-700? I'm like, oh,
Right.
Tent's so expensive.
Yeah, the lighter you go, the price goes up.
Yeah. So we wanted something that we could sleep in together, still have room, be lightweight. So for the
Mhm.
next year, I want to say 2017, we were in a Z-Packs triplex. Actually, we got the triplex, not the duplex. So we got that, and we were in that for a while, and then we discovered hammocking, and it's all been uphill from there.
Yeah.
Literally.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So now we have our own that we do, and some of them I make, and some of them we buy, and we have all kinds of hammocks. So
Well, you have to have a tent for every occasion.
oh yeah,
Like seriously, whatever style you're doing, and even now, I mean, you guys have a adventure trailer-ish thing, I think, right? So that's another stage you're kind of working into. But I think Sparty had a second part of that question. It was luxury item.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
There.
Okay. What's your luxury item?
I got her a chair,
chair.
the Chair Zero.
Yeah.
If you want to.
So yeah, that's for her. You
take it everywhere.
you take it every time. I'm like, I don't like sitting very long. Bye, Devin.
Bye, Gavin. Thanks for coming on.
So I don't like sitting very long.
Okay, so it's not for you then.
Yeah, you're
No.
antsy.
I'm very antsy. I'm having a hard time standing still right now. In fact, she's sitting and I'm standing. I have a stand-up desk at work. I've been standing for like 4 years now. I don't.
And you
ever-
just love it.
Yeah, I can't. I don't sit well.
Mhm,
So if I do sit down, I usually just plunk down to the ground and then I'll get up and run around. And
I'm sitting because you said I was too short.
you are
to
too
stand.
short. Seriously, if she stood up, she would be like here.
I love it. That's
Oh,
good.
man.
Very good.
Well, I was saying the luxury items. Favorite meal on the trail?
Ooh. I'll let you go first.
No,
No,
you actually have favorite things.
I do.
I'm gluten intolerant, so I have.
She's an undiagnosed celiac, I think.
Right.
Because it's pretty bad.
I've not eaten it for so long that diagnosing it, like actually having it medically diagnosed, is not an issue anymore. Or
So
it's not even an option.
So, but you're making your own stuff then, Trips, or
Sometimes.
yeah,
Sometimes I do, but
or next 9 miles or whatever.
Next mile meals.
Next miles, yeah.
Packet Gourmet actually is probably where I get most of my food from.
Okay.
I think if I had to pick one, and it pains me to say this, but Mountain House's spicy Southwest.
Oh, the skillet.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's probably my favorite.
Gotcha. That's good.
Yeah. So for me, yep, there we go. Jeremy already beat me to it. Mr. Almost, my fry bread. So I really want to put out a video on that because I've really taken it to the next level.
Right.
For those that were with on the Pictured Rocks trip, I probably bought 7 pounds of, it's called different things. So when I first looked it up, it was Navajo fry bread or Indian fry bread or Bannock bread.
Bannock, yeah.
Bannock.
Swiper exposed you to that at the winter hang.
She did, yeah. So there was a Native American woman that hiked with it. She didn't really hike with us. She was at a group hang, and she introduced us to this food, and it was like, this is so awesome. So I made a bunch of this stuff. Well, it's cool because you can just eat it as is. You can make it super savory.
Or
you
sweet.
You can make it sweet.
Yep.
It's a blank
treat in the
canvas.
morning. Yeah. So on this trip, I made a whole bunch of it. I froze it and I brought it with me, and I ended up making pizzas out of it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like
So
that.
dehydrated pizza sauce.
So I just took pizza sauce, put it in the dehydrator, right? And dehydrated it. And then I put it in a food processor, just made it a powder.
I actually used the
Rocky Rococos.
The coffee grinder.
Yeah, the coffee.
Yeah. Oh, it worked great. You turn it into powder. But it perfectly reconstitutes with water. So you mix it back up and there's your pizza sauce. So I'd make the bread. I had to bring a pan with me. I had to bring oil. So I had a lot of weight just
you did.
Fry bread with. But I think everyone that was there had a chance to eat it, of course, except for Trips.
Right.
But they said it was great. You know, I brought little pepperonis and I put the pepperonis in the oil to get those hot, and cheese and everything. And of course, this is like a first night thing. And I highly recommend, everybody's like Mountain House and Packet Gourmet and all these different things. If you're just going out for a single overnighter, or even
bring real food,
or even if you're doing multiple, that first night, bring something good. You know, we've always done steaks.
Yep.
Same.
Our friends down in Kentucky, you know, Jason Waugh and Jeremiah Stringer and JK and all these people, they're big on the steaks, and so are we, but it can be anything. When we were at that group hang in the wintertime here, people were bringing all kinds of food. I mean, you can do stir fry, fajitas, you can do pretty much anything. Get creative with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
I agree.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. But I agree that first night, and then you get your hike on, you're so excited, you're pumped, you're ready to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And that first night you get there, you're like, oh yeah, this is a good meal waiting for you, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's almost like it's well deserved. You know what I mean?
And for most people, that first day is usually smaller mileage. Not always, obviously.
Sure.
But like for us, I think we only did 5 miles that first day.
I think it was 6 or something.
Was it 6 miles? You know, it's not like a 12, 15 mile day. So that first day, enjoy it. Bring out the stuff that you wouldn't normally bring out.
Right.
You know?
Can we just make Trips and Miyagi big for 1 second?
Sure. Let's see here.
I know what's happening.
No other way.
Which one?
Where are you?
I don't know if I can make them bigger.
Why not? Uh-oh. One more?
Get a little closer.
What's going on? I want to see the shirt.
Oh,
no.
I could have done that.
There we go.
Move over. Yeah.
Everybody, all of my Canadian people, look at this representation. Whoop, whoop. Thanks, Miyagi. That was really nice. And I mean, all the Canadian people who are watching right now, and Ontario people, they just got out of lockdown.
Finally?
So they did. So they were in lockdown for a gajillion years, it seems like. Last Friday was their first day that they could legit go out camping. And hitting, I know, crazy, right? So yay for them. Okay, so Who's the trip planner? You're the trip planner.
He loves it.
Oh, yeah, I totally nerd out. Anyone
Right.
who's been with me on a trip. So this last trip, I think I did a 6-page itinerary.
Okay, that was my next part of the question. Was not only, hey, we're going here, it's this many miles a day. It's we're going from here to here.
Bananas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I planned for all the eventualities. So I had
Bailout points.
bailout points, shuttle services, the times and everything, local emergency services, where to go if you needed a decompression chamber or, you needed a surgeon or, all that stuff.
Right, you got it. Okay.
Yep.
And do you get bent out of shape if your itinerary doesn't go to plan?
Nope.
No, and it
That's-
usually
that's
doesn't
good.
because I usually mess it up.
Me? Oh, I'm like,
No, me.
I'm like,
You-
I don't think
you
I
mess
messed
it
up
up?
my itinerary.
Yeah.
I messed up one itinerary once.
No,
Okay.
I said I usually mess it up.
Oh no, I'm saying on the itinerary I messed up once. Almost. If you're still here, tell him how I messed up on the itinerary. We'll see if he's paying
Is
attention.
he still in the house here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
where I almost killed him. Not really, but
And I think why John was saying that about about sticking to the itinerary. Oh, hang on. What's almost say here? Don't trust Miyagi for a water.
There it is. So I planned our
no.
we did a rim to rim hike in the Grand
Right.
Canyon.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Everybody's still waiting on part 2.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thanks for that reminder.
I know.
I'll drink
You know
to
it was
that.
coming from
Cheers.
Anyway, I planned that trip and I thought that one of the stops that we're going to make on our way to the North Rim had water and it didn't. And so you can get to kind of down to the water, but you can't actually get to the water. So, but we made it. Everything was fine.
Morning dew off the leaves or anything,
Right.
or you know what I mean?
It was towards the end of the hike too. Well, not towards the end of the hike. It was kind of in the middle, but everything was fine.
Okay. But have you had your itinerary planned out so you know where you're going, point A to B, you're staying in this site, whatever. What's the matter, honey? Mind your way.
Yeah, get out of my
I'm
space.
pretty Italian. I got to talk with my hands. Come on. Anyways,
I'm Italian. What about it?
But has a trail that was not on your list, like part of your itinerary that you've gone down, led you to something that you just didn't know about, that you discovered something on?
Yeah. Well, you guys are harassing me about my Grand Canyon video. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, that's it actually leads into the story because there is an old trail that leads through the Grand Canyon called the Old Bright Angel Trail. And the National Park Service would not recommend you going on it, neither would I. But it does exist on certain maps, and I found it. And this wasn't really on my itinerary, but it kind of was. And myself and the mule, Chuck the mule,
Right.
ended up taking that, and it was one heck of an adventure. So yes. And often our trips where we go will lead to other ideas for future trips. Pictured Rocks is a perfect example. There are some other loops and different things that you can do. And
Right.
when we did that first hike, it was like, oh, next time we need to come back and do the Beaver Lake loop through
Mhm.
there. And then we came back a separate time and did that, or, a number of different examples.
Right.
Yeah.
You
But no,
guys-
I love geeking out on planning. Love
Okay,
it.
that's fun. You love Michigan. Like you seem
I
to
do.
come back to Michigan quite often.
Everybody loves Michigan.
Everybody does love Michigan. That is true. We see so many out of state plates all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So remember when we were in the Smokies and I shorted myself a whole day worth of food and we had to change our itinerary
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
because we
Oops.
can't share. So I just
Or the time we were in Michigan on Grand Island and you forgot your tarp.
Ruh-roh.
Ooh.
Okay. That's no bueno.
we realized it. What about Green Bay?
So I made
Oh,
her. a
wait,
tarp.
there's more.
I realized it.
So I made her a tarp
So we stopped at a Walmart
in the front seat of the car on the way there.
Yeah. out of painter's plastic and Gorilla Tape.
Okay.
It held up all weekend.
Actually, it was pretty cool.
It was cool. And then I was like, can I have a real one that's this
That's
big?
just like this. Like
Right.
it perfectly pitched. It was awesome. I was like,
And it
"Dang."
was ultra light.
Yeah.
Well,
Not only that, but it was 13 foot long and it had
Yeah.
doors and there
it
was.
was a little bit heavy. There was
Right.
there was a lot of
Oh,
tape on that thing.
Thanks, almost.
Jeremy.
Keeping it real here.
Chips forgot.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So what happens when that happens? When you forget a piece of something? Like, are you using a stick to improvise? Or are you Using twine? What are you using?
Well, what he's talking about, I forgot my spreader bars for my hammock.
So yeah, she uses the War Bonnet Ridge Runner. So we have these carbon fiber poles that go on the head and the foot end to keep
because mine is a flat lay.
Yeah, keeps that bridge shape. And without those, you can't really lay in it. It's not like a gathered end. It's not designed to do that. So that's when Miyagi gets crafty. And luckily, I had modified trekking poles to use for my camera. So I had some little gadgets that I had mounted on the top side of where you put your hand and on the top of the cork there. And it just it fit like perfectly on those spreader bars. So we ended up using the trekking poles, and it worked fine.
Well, even
Nice
more
job,
lucky.
MacGyver.
I know, right? MacGyver Miyagi. That's crazy.
Miyagi.
Oh yeah. It seems like every trip lately I've had to fix somebody's gear.
Well, you forgot your spreader bars on our last trip to Iowa.
Yep, I did that too, and I had to whittle some out of wood, and that worked just fine. Almost he broke his backpack, so I had to fix that. Jason Waugh, we were in the Smokies, his backpack broke. I had to fix that.
Yeah, he's handy to have around.
But usually I'm fixing up people's feet. That's what I'm known for.
Right. Yeah. That is true. I mean, your feet that's it. That's your mode of transportation.
Yeah.
Yep. So usually I'm taping people up and popping.
Have you ever been?
No, wait.
Oh, wait, you go.
No, yes.
Okay.
What's the best part of hiking together?
I think it's that concentrated time where you're together. You're kind of, I don't want to say forced because you're doing this voluntarily, but you're not distracted. Yeah, there's no distractions, and we've had the most wonderful conversations on trail where we talk about everything and anything, and sometimes nothing at all. Sometimes we'll hike, an hour will go by, and we don't say a word to each other, but we're just so immersed in what's going on around us, and then something will pop up, and we start talking about that, and that's always fun. I like that.
Yeah.
Agreed. It's so true. You know how you always say, stop and smell the roses or whatever. And we were we were hiking this past weekend, and we were like, look at how the ferns are just like, blowing in the wind. And we just totally stopped and looked at these ferns blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
And we just talked about it. It was just crazy. But it's just so cool to be with someone who's like-minded.
Yeah. What I really have enjoyed seeing over the last 6 years of us backpacking is her personal growth and the things that she was not comfortable with doing.
Well, and I didn't set myself up for success because that very first trip that we took, I bought a pair of Columbia hiking boots on clearance from our local sporting goods store. And I didn't know. And I was miserable. My feet hurt so bad that whole trip. Our first pictured rocks trip, to get me to do 7 miles was like, he had to constantly be prodding me. Like, we're almost there. And now, we do days and we do 10 miles just walking around a park exploring, and it's not even, a hike, so to speak. So, I think that I'm very lucky to have a partner, not only for hiking, but in life, that is endlessly patient with me. When I forget to pack a whole day's worth of food and it has to completely change our itinerary, he's never upset with me. When I'm like, dude, I cannot do this anymore, we got to stop it at the next campsite, he's like, all right, we'll make it work. I'm very lucky that way. If he were less patient than he is, I probably wouldn't still be doing this, because he is the one who props me up when I'm crying because my foot got wet or, whatever.
But the things that bothered her in 2015, 2016, 2017, those are things that don't bother her anymore. So I really enjoyed her personal growth, these last 6 years. It's just amazing to see. We were in Isle Royale. Here's another trip story. We're in Isle Royale. It was our first night on trail. And so I've always wanted to go to Isle Royale, and I watched I think it was a Schill Brothers video, and they were like, if you guys come here, you got to bring fishing gear. I'm like, oh, I'm not a huge fisherman, but I'm like, it'd be cool to have, some fish for dinner one night. So I brought, some spoons and I think we were in, what was that lake?
Chicken Bone.
No, Chicken Bone was the second lake. That was the one that we were playing with the most.
The big one.
No,
I was a
small. I'd have to look at the map. I don't have it. But anyway, it was the first night. Beautiful conditions. We went down. I'm throwing lures. I wasn't catching anything in that on that lake. But I got the spoon stuck, and I'm like, oh, and she was just kind of chilling out, and she had Crocs on.
Crocs and shorts, and you were wearing.
I think I had my hiking shoes on still. So she's like, oh, don't worry, I'll just wait out there and I'll get your spoon, because you don't want to carry a lot of fishing gear. So that one spoon was kind of
pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm like, I had another one, but I'm like, if I lose this one, I only got one left. She's like, I'll get it. So she waits out there and she reaches down, and she got a little wet, but whatever, she got it. I'm like, cool. So she's making her way back,
walking back like this.
Yep, holding it, and then poof, like just
legitimately, like somebody
face
ran
plants.
up from behind me and just both hands on my back
So
shoved
you
me.
push.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah,
there was
like
no one there. That
fully
was just-
wet, like submerged, and I'm like, and I waited.
Yeah.
I waited.
Waited
See
for
the
that
reaction.
reaction.
Which way
And
is
she,
it
she does the thing, and she gets up and she starts cracking up laughing. And I tell you what, 2015, that wouldn't have been a laugh.
No.
That would not have been a laugh.
No.
So
and my sports bra didn't dry the whole rest of that trip.
no.
You were soggy. I love it.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so we got our stuff dried out and everything was fine, and we had a great trip, and it was an awesome experience.
It was.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful
The
place.
video's coming.
Yeah.
I have so many trips that I haven't put out.
I know it's hard. It's hard because you want to keep tripping, and there's so much going on, and life gets
We
in the
got,
way.
what,
And
2?
we're only 2 behind, I think.
2.
Which it's
Oh my
fine.
gosh.
I know.
We're
I know.
We're-
But the more you
Maybe
plan,
I need
the
to
more you
learn
have
how
to-
to do this.
Are there trips that you go on that you don't video? Because I see that Bob just said, because my wife doesn't like when I'm filming on the trail. So I was like, hurry up.
No, there's not too many. So here's the thing. I've had a YouTube channel for many, many years.
Right.
And for me, it was like having a digital photo album. I could go through and I could watch like the trip videos that I put out. If you see a trip video from me, that is the way that I personally want to remember that trip.
Right.
So it might be a little bit longer. It might take me more time to put out, but that's the version of what I want to see, because
Agreed.
I find myself going back to my videos all the time and just, maybe not watching the whole thing, but just I want to remember what happened. I mean, we've taken our kids out and we've had some wonderful experiences. Our oldest son, he did his first backpacking trip was 110 miles through the entire Shenandoah National Park.
Yay.
And we did that whole
I
thing.
think we broke him though, because he's never come with us again.
Yeah. No, he did say he liked it, but we have that wonderful experience with him, on video. The first time that our youngest, our daughter, her first big backpacking trip was a through hike of Pictured Rocks, 42.5 miles. And we have that on video. So for me, putting out a video, I just don't want to put out something really quick just to put it out there.
Agreed.
I really want it to mean something to me personally. So that's why, you're not going to see trip videos really fast from me. We've been doing the whole This Week in Backpacking series. And those are, those are easier for me to put out. It's a little bit more of a blueprint that I have that I can, we use the same music and the same transitions, and they're just easier to do if I want to switch them up.
Right.
So that's
tell everybody about what This Week in Backpacking is, and when it's going to obviously come out every week.
Yeah, so the idea is that it's going to come out every week. There are going to be a few weeks that we're not going to be able to put stuff out.
So you're going to have one out this coming Sunday, but you're probably not going to have one the next because you're going to be gone.
Yeah, so we're going to try to put them out every week. That's the intent. And I think I've come up with a format for myself where I can do that. And we have some help. We have correspondents that help out. Milo's just been helping out.
Yeah.
We had Hunter's Trip. He was helping us out.
Love
for gear.
him. I love that guy.
Yep. He ended up having this life thing go on and decided to jump on trails. So he's now hiking the AT. So, we told him, hey, we'll help support you on your journey. And so he's kind of taken a hiatus. But we've had some other people who have offered to, to help out to do some different things. So maybe if we have some Michigan news that comes out, maybe you guys want to help out.
Sounds good. Yeah.
And if anybody, if they're out there and they want to be a part of it and they want to do a news segment for something, hey, reach out to me.
I like that.
Yeah. So anyway, we focus on national park news trips, and I love the national parks. Our national park system is it's such a gift that this country has. And it's such a great resource to have. So we like to kind of feature national park stories out there because they are so very relevant to backpacking and the backcountry experience.
True.
So we do that. And then of course we feature some backpacking stories. And then we do, if we can, some sort of a gear segment, something new in the cottage industry or a new piece of gear. I'm hoping to, so we have something, I think this week, we're going to be featuring something new from Waymark. I know Devin jumped off, but they re-upped one of their backpacks, which I had a chance to try out and stuff. So that's going to be featured this week. And then I try to focus on either a creator. Of course, we had you on there one week where I totally screwed up your darn name. I'm sorry.
It's a cool quest.
Yeah, the cool quest.
I was so focused on making sure that I got your last name spelled correctly.
Right.
I just Quest is Quest. Quest.
Right.
And it's like, no, it's KK, cool Quest. It's the whole play. And I totally missed it the entire time. So I told these guys, I said, I think dinner, right? We're going to get you guys dinner and we're going to do trail cocktails or something.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we like to feature content creators and through hikers as well. So sometimes we'll have somebody this week is somebody we actually got a chance to meet on the Appalachian Trail. His real name is Craig M. Not sure what his last name is, but he goes by the name of Spielberg. And he was one of these through hikers that was vlogging back in 2016.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's one of the OG guys that was doing the vlogging, but we actually had a chance to meet him on trail. Yeah. So it was cool following him. And then it was like, we just stumbled across him. I heard the voice and I'm like, I know that guy. And, we got a chance to talk to him for just a little bit and everything. And we were on his video. We put him on our video and it was cool. But he's had a chance to travel around the world. And now he's doing a through hike northbound of the PCT. So he's going to be featured in this coming week's video. So that's kind of cool. So we like to give a shout out to, to different people. And
I really love your segments of the national parks and stuff like that. That's really, really cool.
I feel like it's relevant to anybody, not just the backpacking
there's so many parks and a lot of the trails go through national parks.
Right.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. Before we started doing this, I actually don't think that I had a really good grasp on how many national parks, recreation areas, all of that actually exists. And it is crazy.
Right.
How many there are. And there's always something going on. Somewhere in one of them.
There is. So do you try and hit a national park every year yourselves? Like, is that
we don't make it an attempt to do so. It seems like we do. We have
right.
We go to the Smokies a lot.
Yeah, we go to the Smokies quite a bit. We've been to Isle Royale National Park. We really haven't gotten out. Well, I did Grand Canyon, but we really haven't done anything else out west. That's kind of our retirement plan. Or
Junction and Dole.
Right.
Your cup just disappeared when you did
I
that.
know, it's crazy. It's this green screen thing. It's weird.
Yeah.
Optical illusion.
It's a little bizarre.
I don't know. You probably know, but the fun fact of the
IRL
is the least visited national park, but it's the most revisited.
Yep.
And it's the cleanest. That was the cleanest trail that we've ever been on. Yep. There was no trash anywhere.
We can't wait.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a trip planned?
Oh, yeah. I just booked the flight today.
Oh, awesome.
Nice. So
that's exciting.
Cool.
Oh, we're going to fly in.
Yeah. Mid-September.
September the 10th. So
awesome.
6 days, 5 nights, or
You're
5
going
nights.
to love it. You're going to love it.
I know. I'm so excited.
I want to see wolves.
Maybe, but I doubt it.
You probably won't.
You probably won't.
It's a rarity. Her lady Colleen works with, her son was on trail,
and he was on the your side. He was on the Monongs ridge, right?
Yeah,
and he spotted two wolves.
Two wolves were like right on the trail as he rounded a corner.
He came back to the DNR office and reported it
when they were like flying out.
The guy that's been there for he said, I've been here like over 10 years and I've never seen a wolf.
And they're like, what color's the tag? What color was the eyes? He goes, I don't know. I want to get the hell out of there. You know what
it wasn't that close.
Funny.
Yeah.
Right?
But you'll probably see moose. And one of the neat things about that, because it's a contained ecosystem, is you don't get any of the bears, you don't get any of the deer. But you have over 2,000 moose on this one island. And watch yourself when you're in the camps, because each camp that you go to, because you can't do any wild camping, you have to reserve your spots when you get there, right? Each camp has their own little camp fox, and they will steal your stuff. Swipe or no swiping. We have video. I think it's on our Instagram, because we haven't put out a video on YouTube yet, but we were at Chicken Bone and I was fishing. And she's doing it. Actually, it was before that.
Set up,
we had just finished setting up. So this is in the middle of the day, right?
Yeah.
and we got all our stuff kind of there. We're monkeying around, and here comes this fox. And the fox there are really neat. They're kind of like a silver black, kind of a reddish.
Yeah.
They're really unique there, but they will come and steal your stuff.
So I had taken everything out of my bag to set up my hammock, and
Right.
I had like my raincoat just kind of sitting on top of my bag, standing up, and this dude just came in,
and he's like
side eyeing.
yeah,
us.
he's looking at us like, yeah, I'm gonna take your stuff.
So he wasn't afraid of you.
No,
and he reached in and he grabs
got,
a raincoat
just his front teeth on it, and
and
he's
started pulling
it.
back. And we're
Come
like,
on.
so he drops it. He runs around camp and comes into the other entrance. He's like, yeah, I'm still here.
Mhm.
I'll
Yeah.
get your stuff. Yep. So he stalked us.
They'll take
Wow.
your socks and your shoes because
Hence the
You
Sly
slide
as
as a
a
fox.
fox.
Yeah.
Sly as a fox.
Here
Yep.
you are. Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
sneaky little bastard.
Yeah, they are.
yeah,
That's
We have
crazy.
a swiper. So watch your stuff.
yeah, because they will steal it.
They will.
That's funny.
But yeah,
stuff.
Trips had a really good moose encounter there.
Mhm.
Okay.
So not the last day when we were hiking out, but the second to last day, we were coming back into where do you come
I
in?
don't
Wendigo.
remember.
We were coming back into Wendigo. So we took the boat in, and we were coming back into Wendigo. It was the campsite. It would be the first campsite off the Greenstone.
Closest to
Yeah, closest to Wendigo. And we knew that the boat was coming in. So Trips is like, you need to go get us a campsite.
there's only like 4 or 5 campsites at each camp. So once it's, and it's first come, first serve.
So
Right.
she's like, you need to go like FKT style, and I want you to run ahead.
Done.
And so, yeah.
Make sure we have a
Yep, make sure
place
we have a
to camp.
campsite because she's slower than I am.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, all right, cool. You're good with that? And she's
We don't
like, yep.
normally do that.
Nope. We always hike together. So I go dashing ahead, and I'm moving as fast as I can, and I get to the campsite, and there was a bunch of stuff that was open, and I'm like, okay. So I picked out the best one for us, and I started setting up, and it took her a while to get there. I know you were probably about 20 minutes, half hour behind me.
Oh,
something like that.
wow.
But she comes back, and she had this look on her face like, wait till I tell you this story.
Yeah. Well, and I think I kicked up my speed a little bit after that because I would just have
Okay.
So there's a little bit of like the trail comes out and kind of does this like half circle, but it's all like
Boggy
marshy swamp stuff on this one side. So the grass was really high, and I'm doing my own thing. So I have my trekking poles, and I'm kind of like head down, like parting the long grass as I walk.
Right.
And so I'm coming to where the curve of this little, thumb that's sticking out, so to speak, is, I'm getting to like where it starts to turn the other way. And I hear something, and I look up, and like maybe 10 feet from me, there's I'm not like a moose expert, but if I had to guess, I would say it was like a young male, probably
Like a teenager or something.
Yeah, standing at the precipice of the curve on his side, just staring at me. And there's not a lot of places to go. So my instinct was just to like jump off trail in case he continued coming at me. Well, I think that I scared him as much as he scared me. And he did the same thing. So now we're like at a standoff because I can't see where he is and he can't see where I am. So I just stood there for a little while, and finally I kind of was like, trying to like peer down trail.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
So I kind of like slowly started making my way, and I heard something, and I turned, and he had run like up the hill, and he was standing up there watching me.
He was waiting for
And
you.
I was like, dude, we're good. I'm going. You don't need to worry about me. But yeah, it was completely unexpected because I was literally in like La La Land, just
Sure.
Singing and dancing
Yeah.
and doing her thing.
Yeah,
No, I
doing your
wasn't.
thing. Mm-hmm.
But you'll see lots of
Yeah.
moose. If you're lucky. I know some people who have been there who have never seen
I
moose.
don't know
But
how
Right.
that's possible.
we had them
We saw
walking
'em
through
every
camp
day.
when we were
Yeah.
at Chicken Bone and I was fishing. And that's where I was landing
Mhm.
just a ton of northern. I mean,
Every
Yep.
cast.
yeah, we kept one and ate it, but yeah, it's fun. You just catch them, throw them back. But there was a huge bull moose that was just down the way. He's just sticking his head in the water and munching on the grass. And I'm fishing and I'm doing my thing. He's doing his thing. And for like an hour, I'm just sitting there watching this huge moose feed. I'm like, this is so cool. And then we got a chance to see these mayflies. like a million
Oh my
mayflies.
gosh, it was the
Like,
craziest thing.
It was getting towards dusk, and they all just like took off in the air at the same time.
Like somebody flipped a switch. They
And
all
then-
took flight all at the same
Yep.
time.
And then a bunch of them were hitting the water, and the fish were jumping. It was like this magical moment I've never
Yeah, it was-
experienced before.
Love it.
Is that in the video too?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And then the one night you were
Thanks, Johnny.
napping,
Thanks, John. He said.
and like 3 or 4 of them walked right through camp.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was incredible. That trip was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a
That's
magical place.
crazy.
Yeah. So
That's-
I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah. I know. I
Oh.
can't wait.
Thanks, Sparty.
Aww.
Glad I can be
Hi,
entertaining.
Sparty.
Thanks, Sparty.
Is Sparty from Michigan?
Yes.
I think
I
he
would
is,
think
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Well, we know what
The Spart-
college team he
Yeah,
likes.
he likes
Yeah.
Michigan
Sparty has
State.
been he's part of the Miyagi and Trips OG
Yeah.
fan club. He's been with us through the beginning. So
Yeah.
Oh, very
Mad-
cool.
yeah, mad props to Sparty.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, I
So
haven't
how long are you
been
guys going for?
5 days, 4 nights.
Nice.
No,
Six
6
days,
days,
5
5
nights.
nights.
Sorry, 6 days, 5 nights. Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep,
So
yep.
where are you starting at?
Oh my!
So you're flying in, right?
We're flying in, so from Houghton to Rock Harbor.
Okay.
And we're just doing like Rock Harbor to 3 Mile. I don't know. It's just a nice little loop. Gets us to the other side of the island, kind of in the middle
I
again,
feel
and
it's
then
the
back
most
down again.
common loop.
It's not ambitious, you know. I would have loved to have gone like Rock Harbor to Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this is not the first trip to do that. I feel like I just want to experience the island a little bit of time and take it all in. There's so much to see, you
Yeah,
know,
there is.
like
Yeah.
how John was saying, it's the most revisited island.
Mhm.
We haven't even gone yet, but I know we're going to love it and we're going to want to go back, you know? So I
Yeah.
think that this is going to be
Totally.
a good first trip. I'm excited.
So protect your stuff from the fox
That's number 1.
and
Bring a fishing pole.
bring your fishing pole.
With
You
a
can find a
spoon.
small one in the
We
spoon.
do have
Yep.
we have collapsible fishing poles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bring a spoon, and we brought a wood stove with us too, and that was kind of cool because you could,
We
you
just
know,
Oh, like a twig stove?
Like a twig stove.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep,
Yeah.
that worked really well. Bring a spice pack with you for
Yeah.
seasoning your fish up and a
Mhm.
little bit of olive oil.
Well, I'll be the only one eating fish because someone doesn't like to eat fish.
Oh, no.
Mm.
I like
she,
to fish.
she likes to fish, but she won't eat it.
Do you know how to get the Y bone out of a northern?
Yeah, you just cut it this way and then put the knife this way and go tit along that, and
Oh.
now you got a fillet.
Okay,
I don't know. I watched quite a few YouTube videos.
Yeah, we didn't know how to do that.
we didn't.
So,
So we were eating a lot of bones,
yeah,
Oh.
it was not good.
which is fine. But yeah, if you don't know how to get out the Y bone, that was the first thing that I googled when I got back. Is
There you
figure
go.
that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some miserable people there. I remember passing. There was a father and a son, and the son was just absolutely miserable. The father was carrying his
Oh.
back. He was having a bunch of foot problems, and so it can be wet. I don't know what the conditions are.
Well,
this
when
time
we
of
were
year.
there, when was that? 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
So the wolf population had died off almost entirely. So the beaver population was really out of control, and they had dammed up all kinds of places. And no,
Yeah.
I mean, totally serious. Like you're
Mhm.
just going along, and all of a sudden you're literally walking through like a small pond
Mhm.
because
Sure.
the population was completely unregulated without, the only predator there that consumes them. So
Yep.
hopefully by now, because they were repopulating the wolf packs at that time, they had just
Yep.
started doing it. So
Mhm.
hopefully by now it will be a little bit better, because it made it kind of messy in some places.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what year it was, but it's been 2-3 years, I think. They actually bought in a full pack out of
Mhm.
Minnesota,
Yeah, we've been
And they've
watching,
been-
and Canada, I think too.
and they've been thriving very well. I mean, their first initial implant was they took like 3 separate wolves from different packs and
Mhm.
brought
And
them
I
in,
think they had just done that when we were there.
and
Right.
they never met up. They were like they were quote unquote lone wolves, and they
Mhm.
never met up and packed, and they
Yeah.
just eventually they just died off.
Sure.
Mhm.
Right.
One of the neat things about the island is you're going to see moose shed
Oh yeah, that
All
was so
over.
cool.
everywhere because
Wow.
there's not a lot of critters that'll eat them up, and because you're at a national park, people can't
Yeah.
collect them and bring them back.
Right.
One of the first things that you're going to do when you get there is you'll meet with a park ranger, and they'll go
Right.
over all the rules of the island. It was kind of neat. We sat on the dock, you know, the entire group, and they go over everything with you. So
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a really great trip.
I can't wait.
It's a little scary though, because when you get there, you don't really have, I mean, you have an idea in your mind what you want to do, but you have to check in and get your itinerary when you get there. So it's kind of like, here's where we'd like to go, and they tell you if it's available. So it's like, I chartered a plane or a boat to get all the way over here, and I don't know if it's going to be available or not. What do you mean? Yeah. So you have to be flexible if you're planning that. Really study the island and know what your options are. There are a few shelters that you can pick. They're like little they're 4-sided with screens and stuff if you want to do that. But those people like make a beeline to get those right away.
Right.
We didn't want to do that. I don't like sleeping in shelters at all.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
we're excited for you guys. It's awesome.
Thank you. I'm a little obsessed about it at the moment. Every information I've got, like books. I've been reading a novel about the first school on the island. Just everything. I'm just I'm consumed.
We got some pretty good material from our friend. Everyone knows the Dave.
He, it was really
gifted that to us to read and research.
And September has been our time of the year where we've tried to do a big trip every year. So do you have a time of the year that you guys just have, whoa, this is like my big trip of the year? Or do you still reserve it for family time?
Our big trips we like to do in the fall and the spring.
Yeah.
Just when the weather patterns, you know, for backpacking tend to be
right on
the best.
Well, yeah, there's less bugs.
Yeah.
The heat, you know, is usually
I'm with you.
More bearable at those times.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
yeah, I'm a little bit, I think,
He's
more tolerable
tolerant.
of the heat and bugs and things than she is. I could go out any time of the year. It doesn't matter if it's in the dead of winter.
That's because when we go hiking, I look like Pigpen.
Mm-hmm.
There's bugs like swarming all around me, and he's completely fine.
So I actually
don't like me. They don't.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, you do, because they all go to you.
Yeah.
That's why you're more tolerant.
No, I'm tolerant because they don't affect me. So I do have a superpower.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not affected by mosquito bites at all.
Yeah.
So when mosquitoes sting me, nothing happens to me.
Right.
So I'm kind of lucky in that regard.
Yeah, he'll have a red bump for like 2 minutes,
yeah.
and then it goes away, and then it's like it never happened. I end up with a welt like the
You're
size of a saucer.
Right. Yeah. Looking pink, all like decked out in calamine lotion or something.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
It's horrible.
That's awesome. Do you know that we are over our 1 hour, which I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know, right?
Anybody who actually thought that we were only going to go an hour.
I know, right? We tried to just make a bit of a time frame, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we didn't get to Heifer question.
Well, that's okay. But I have 2 more things. One is
we're not in a hurry, so I know, Johnny, you got to go to work or something.
Oh yeah, I got paperwork to do
paperwork
tonight, and I'm heading up to the Sioux tomorrow. So
yeah,
okay.
So he's heading up north for a little bit, just for work though. So Miyagi, did you want to talk about anything crafty on the trail, like trail craft, or?
Oh yeah, so
is that something? Okay.
So we'll start with the origin story of that. If you have time.
Let's do it. Oh, 100% we do.
Wait,
so we're at a
keep talking. I can hear you.
He needs a beer.
Oh, okay. I'm still not done with my first drink. So we're at a benefit golf outing, and they had a silent auction, right? Yeah.
No, that was raffle.
It was a raffle. So we bought she bought a bunch of raffle tickets, and it's one of those where you can put them in the bucket.
Yeah.
So if you buy like $20 worth, you can either put all your tickets into one bucket or you can spread them out.
Right.
Well, we go up and down the line, and we're trying to figure out what we want.
I have all these tickets, and I had put in for the things I wanted. So I said, is there anything that you would like that you want me to throw some tickets in for?
So I'm like,
it's like, I want that sewing machine.
There was a sewing machine there. It was like an Elna,
some
cheap
brand like I've never even heard of before.
A cheaper one. And I'm like, I'd like that sewing machine. And she's like, really?
I know. I'm like, what are you going to do with a sewing machine?
I'm like, I don't know. I kind of want to learn to sew because it seems like it'd be kind of cool. So she put a bunch of tickets in, and we ended up winning.
I think I might have been the only person that put tickets in there.
Nobody wanted the sewing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, literally, I did what I do with everything is I just started researching and reading and watching YouTube and just taking in as much as I could. And, of course, dropping a small fortune on accessories. And, of course, the Elna didn't last long before I had a heavy-duty singer and a serger and, all these things. And I actually have a whole So I have a closet. Almost just been over to the house here to see it. It looked bigger on video when I did that bins video.
It's like Harry
Right.
Potter's cupboard.
Yeah, it's like Harry Potter's cupboard, but it's a wonderful magical cupboard where lots of things come in. Yeah. So I started tinkering and I started making hammocks, and I was like, wow, this is really cool that I can make this. And a couple of them didn't work out so well, and then a couple of them worked out really well, and you refine your style. And then I started getting into the ultralight materials, and I ended up making one that was like crazy light. Like it was coming in at like 8.5 ounces. I had used a couple of.
Nobody bigger than Hunter can sleep in it, but
Right.
Well, I mean, it was meant for people who are less than 200 pounds, and it was a certain niche kind of hammock. And I've been dabbling with other things. I made Jeremiah Stringer's Pride of Kentucky hammock. He liked that. He was like, "Can you make me something with like UK?"
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, absolutely." So I made him that. I did a tarp and a bunch of other things, and I've been making all kinds of little bags and things, and everything's been turning out really well. And a lot of that stuff I use religiously on all of our trips. And it's, you make the refinements, and you kind of figure out what works for you and what doesn't. And the cool thing is, once you know those techniques, you can just start creating everything that comes into your mind.
Right.
You're like, I wonder if I tweak this, what would that do? So you make it, and, we're fortunate enough. We both have really good careers. So, we're definitely not hurting for money or anything. And we have a little bit of extra income. We're both 2/3 of our way through our career.
that makes us sound old.
I know. Well, we are old. Our kids are getting ready. One of them's graduated, has his own house. We have three more. One just graduated. We have 2 more in high school. So, we're getting close to be empty nesters.
Getting there.
So so we're finding we're having a little bit more free time and a little bit more income that we can play around and do some things with. So there's a lot of people who are like, oh, you should really make more of these. And it's like, right now. So I branded it under Trailcraft.
Okay.
I kind of came up with that name. I like the craft name. Everyone has their craft. And for us backpackers, typically, and not everybody is bushwhacking, but typically we're on trail, right? And the trail is our craft. So I kind of came up with Trailcraft.
I love it.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I kind of branded everything underneath that. We made little labels and everything. So yeah, it's kind of a fun side thing. I don't do a ton of stuff. I do kind of things on special order. If there's something that you want and you have a relationship with me, or know somebody who knows somebody, I can do something for you.
Right.
But I'm not, I started an Etsy store, and it exists out there somewhere, but there's nothing in it.
Okay.
Just because, I have a hard enough time. Like I edit from 4 a.m. until about 7:30 a.m. before I go into work.
Right.
That's my editing time. And you guys know, like almost everybody, I have so many videos that I need to do yet. And I've really fallen in love with doing this weekend backpacking series. We're having a lot of fun with that. And it's just fun. It's fun. And it's like, okay, so if we're not doing stuff with the kids or sports or running around with jobs or whatever, or our careers, it's always, what do I do with that little bit of extra time? Because we are also gardeners. We keep bees. We had chickens. I mean, we do a lot of things. We water sports, kayaking, boating, all kinds of stuff. So it's like, where are we going to devote our time? So I have these skills now, and I can do it, and I'm still tinkering, but I'm just not doing it like full scale. And I don't know if I ever will. I don't know.
Do you see yourself maybe doing a little showcase at Trail Days next year?
No.
Okay.
No, but I do like going to the gatherings. Like we'll go to hammock hangs and group gatherings, and I like making stuff to showcase there. Like we did one in Michigan a couple of years ago where our kids came with, 2 of them anyway, and I made them. It was around the Halloween time, so I made them Halloween themed hammocks. My daughter had one where it was all pumpkins, and I had weaved in LED lighting all around it, and there was lanterns on each end of it. It's really, really cool.
Fancy pants.
Yeah, and then I made my son, he had a skulls one, so these were like super custom hammocks that I made for him. So I'll do stuff like that. Like Jeremiah Stringer, I made him one that was the UK blue. So I'll do stuff like that for people, but I don't think I'm going to do it on a large scale,
Yeah.
So.
Okay, very, very cool.
Sweet.
What's Bob up to here? Bob's decided forget now to cancel. By the way, we don't only hike too.
Oh, well, we're not far from Milwaukee, so
Nope.
Right?
I hope you make it sometime.
There you go.
Bob's another one of those guys I'd love to go hiking with.
Oh, I love Bob too. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's got a lot of really great, and he's one of the OGs too. Bob's been putting out videos for a long time.
Yeah.
And we've actually used Bob as a resource for some of our hikes and different places that we go. So
So
yeah, Bob. Yep.
When we went to the Porkies last year, I was obsessed with his videos. Same thing. I mean, he's got like amazing maps, and just you can follow his videos so easily. So yeah, it was very cool. Yep. Absolutely. Okay, one more question.
Okay.
Have you ever been on trail or out just the two of you on vacation, where you had to celebrate a special moment? Was it a birthday, an anniversary, like something like that? Did you bring candlelight? Was there something? Did you make a special dinner that nobody knew about? Was there pulled the violinist out of your back pocket? Like, I don't know.
No. I think the first holiday that we were supposed to celebrate on trail was with Almost on the Ozark Highlands Trail. But we had to bail on that one. So we didn't actually get to spend New Year's Eve on trail.
Okay.
Which kind of sucked. But
I'm still sorry.
Did you bring sparklers or anything for that? Or you know what I mean? Like, what was going to be your intention?
No.
We brought alcohol.
Well, yeah, you did.
We were in Pictured Rocks for a lunar eclipse.
Okay. That's cool.
That was very cool.
So that was one of the first times we did the whole hot toddies thing. So we like to do, and this is one of those where I don't normally drink this kind of stuff when I'm off trail, but we had Fireball with us. So Fireball is really good if you mix it with like an apple cider packet.
Hot apple cider packet.
Yep. And you heat it up and you have a little hot toddy. So we were sitting on the sand dunes and we stayed up late to watch this lunar eclipse. And that was kind of a special moment. I think that was probably one of the most kind of like, I don't know.
It's memorable.
It was well, they're all memorable, but this was just like
snuggled up on like a sand dune, just watching this and having.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you guys spent any holidays or birthdays or?
The one thing that kind of comes to my mind though was so last year when COVID hit, it was our third
our anniversary.
And I said to John, like, what are we gonna do? Like, all the restaurants are shut down, and we always make like amazing meals together, whatever. And he's like, why don't we just go do it on trail? And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, we went to some remote park in town.
Like, we didn't go that far.
I mean, literally, it's like not even 10 minutes away.
No. Yeah. But we brought wine, and we had
so we threw some we brought our camp juice with wine, and then what did we make?
I think we brought like a backpack or something, like pad thai or something like that.
We brought it was a couple backpacker meals. But anyways, it was just like there's this inland trail, and there was a lot of actual people on the trail, but there was like a little ravine that we could like go up and over, which is off the trail and kind of tucked in where no one could see us. And then we just like, I don't know, we cleared out the leaves, moved some sticks around, and it's like we set up a thing. We were actually on the national news.
We were on the news.
Our local news.
Yeah.
Because she posted it.
So I posted a little video, and someone saw it. It ended up being like on MLive, like Michigan News or whatever. And they were just saying, how unique was that, right? To, think outside the box and still celebrate your anniversary.
Yeah, that's cool. Was that before or after the Wheel of Fortune?
After. The Wheel of Fortune was 2 years ago. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Thank you. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity for sure.
That was a
thank you.
Fast, short, expensive weekend.
Oh, in LA? Oh yeah.
Were you in the audience, I'm assuming, Johnny?
Oh yeah. I was in the audience, and one of the rules as a partner to one of the contestants, you could not make eye contact with them. Period. And they had cameras all over the studio.
Oh my gosh, I would have a hard time with that.
How do you do that?
Well, she's down there, and she doesn't really know where I am at in the audience. So we're usually tucked in the upper corner, but they shoot 6 shows in one day. So they do three shows in the morning, break for an hour lunch, and they come back and they shoot 3 more in the afternoon. They work 1 Friday a week. That's it.
Wow.
And they're off the rest of the time.
It's a pretty good gig for sure.
For those two. So anyways, so I'm up in the audience, and luckily she was the second show in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then but they come up and they're still in the upper tier with the rest of us, but she's on the far right, and I'm on the far left. So I did not look that way in any way, shape, or form. So it was really, really cool. So I mean, the way the setup was, and yeah, a lot of fun, and got to go downtown in LA. But yeah, if you visit LA, don't get a rental car. You Uber all the way.
Oh yeah, that was the way to do it.
You don't have to pay for parking. You don't have to worry about paying for car insurance, all that kind of jazz. But
right.
Yeah, took her to a Laker game, which was expensive.
Driving through LA is bananas.
Oh yeah, that's
we
true
had
too.
more fun going to the LA Kings hockey game.
Thank you.
I love it. All right.
That's cool. Oh,
hang on.
Patience. Tanya, lots of patience. And I would recommend not going very far. And if your spouse has something that they really like, maybe a special dinner, that's where those the things that you wouldn't normally bring on a trip, bring those things. Bring your luxury items.
I agree. There's something
and I would say that it's the same thing with like kids. If you're trying to get your kids to go with you, don't overthink it. Go short distances. If they want to stop and play with the flowers or whatever, let them. Let them, because you want them to have the experience. For us, we're experienced. If you're taking someone who is not experienced, find out the things that they like and try to cater to them. And booze and ice cream.
Those are two of my favorite things.
And yeah, Riverbend longbows. Yep.
Riverbend, we're in. We can all hike together. No problem.
He's got it. Booze and ice cream.
Yeah, right. That's fun.
I think too, if there's a specific aversion to it, maybe they don't enjoy, the distance aspect of it or the weights, or I don't know. I mean, anything that you can do to try to mitigate those things would probably be helpful, at least initially. I mean, I did not expect to enjoy it on that first trip that we went on. I seriously was like, who is this we that you're talking about? Because I don't backpack. I don't know what you're talking about. And I really did fall in love with it. But as you heard, it has definitely been an evolution for me. I mean, I didn't even know what really it meant to backpack.
Right.
That first trip that we took was completely brand new for me. I had no, I had done some hiking as a kid with my parents in the Smokies, but I did not know what it meant to truly backpack.
Right.
So, I'm glad that I fell in love with it like I did.
But I think that if I didn't have the patience level,
I
don't think she'd ever want to go back. So I think that's probably my number one biggest piece of advice is try to muster up as much patience as you can for whoever you're taking out there, whether it's your spouse or anybody, kids. Just have a lot of patience. Yep. And maybe have something afterwards. So I would only recommend maybe doing a night or two, and after that night or two, have something else planned that know that they love, so that they can kind of have that thing to look forward to as well.
Positive reinforcement.
Some of that positive reinforcement for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you almost need to have that little reward at the end of it. And whether that is, oh my God, after this, we're going to have the best pizza and salad or juiciest burger or whatever that is,
That sounds nice.
A juicy burger sounds good. I think Riverbend's making some, right? So yeah. But no, I agree. So because I personally love hiking like that, I love it. And John, it's not his number one love, but we're making it easier by having the right tools to do it, and I think that makes it more
difference.
It does. It makes a big difference. It's like anything. You have the right tools, it's fine. Right gear, whatever, it's fine, So you've been fun. Again.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time we chatted,
that was a marathon.
Was 5 hours.
5 hours.
That went to what? 2 in the morning?
I don't know. It was a long
I don't even remember.
I know. John Kelly kept chiming back in. You guys are still
on?
on?
Him and Ben Hilltops. He was like, what
still
the
have
heck?
an audience. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was all good.
Well,
so
that comes from good conversation.
It does. And what's nice is that it's just everyone I think is really interested. So you're our first backcountry couple. Thank you. Super fun. And you're welcome. And there's so many out there, and I think that's what we wanted to do, was get some encouragement going, get some, hey, you're not the only ones out there, you know, like we stink when we're on trail and we still love each other. You should see what the video we're doing right now is. I had their trail shoes for the first time, and I took my shoes off and looked like I hadn't shaved my legs in a week. My legs were so black, and it was like disgusting. It was terrible.
Oh yeah.
But it was fun. Oh
Yes.
yeah, it's all good for sure.
Totally.
So
thank you again.
I know.
We're gonna drop you down, and we got to do a little outro, but
All right.
hang
Thanks for
hang
having
on.
us.
You're
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Again,
Thanks,
so
Tripp. Thanks, Miyagi.
everybody out there, check out Miyagi and Trips. And at let's clear this so
Yeah.
you can see
Get your stuff
at
on
Miyagi
there.
on the trail.
We're good. Watch for this weekend backpacking.
Yep.
Love it.
That
Little
should be
national parks.
this
We're going to
coming
come
Sunday.
out this Sunday. And yeah, watch for that.
Yeah,
And tune
check
in
it out.
on Monday to see who our next couple is going to be.
That's right. And all we're going to tell you is that they're from the other side of the border. We got somebody from Ontario, Canada.
No way.
Fun.
Yeah,
Nice.
wait.
Fun.
Yeah, we do. And then again, thanks for MIYAGI too, because they made these like killer fire starters. So we're totally gonna like send you one. So you got a little Patriot one and the little Canada flag one. That's so cool.
Oh, that's fun. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Cool, thank
welcome. You're welcome. Absolutely. All
You're
right.
welcome.
Thanks so
All right.
much.
Thank you much,
All
guys.
Have a good night,
All right.
guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night. So yay, that was a
Awesome.
great first show.
Oh my gosh, super fun.
Super fun. I don't know exactly how many we had total in
I don't
watching
know.
tonight, but it was no, I think that's cool, Mark.
No way. Mark, your Canadian accent sucks. Just letting you know.
Hey.
Hey, it's true.
So, as
I
we
know-
said earlier, great show.
Yeah, super fun.
And-
And if you're a backcountry couple, if we haven't talked to you, if you know a backcountry couple, if you're interested in becoming on the show, right?
Yeah.
As a backcountry couple, shoot us an email at keelquest@gmail.com. .com, right?
No, it's
And as you can see, we're fun and harmless. Like, it's just having a conversation. And there may or may not be people watching.
just saying.
Just saying. And we're going to try and fix our little lag that's going on here. We're not sure what happened here today,
Yeah.
but we're going to work on that for next time. So thanks, everybody. All right. Have a great week ahead.
Great weekend.
Oh, it's pre-Friday.
Happy pre-Friday.
That's right. Well, cheers to that.
All right, we'll
All right.
see you on the next quest.
Cheers, guys.